Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Frozen Atlantic Studios. Your host, Joel. That's me. I'm sorry about the accent, but it has to be done. And some guy, Ed. How are we doing this weekend?
When I was in the US, I think my accent was top notch. Like, it was really, really good. Obviously, being around all them Southern folk, I think my accent was pretty good. As soon as I left there, it went to shit. I can't do it anymore. No. It sounds like I'm mocking it. When I'm trying to do it, it sounds like I'm mocking it, but I can't do it anymore.
I remember, because with the Wisconsin one, it's kind of hard to do, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just a weird mixture of like dialects or places or whatever. But then when I was there, by the end of it, it was down. People were thinking I was American. Like, I had it. And like you said, come back, mix with these, uncultured people, and then suddenly you lose all accents.
Sorry, I live in Northwest. There's just motorbikes everywhere. That's just, hey, you can still fucking hear him.
Guns around the corner, isn't it?
I was gonna, so this is like a random story. So obviously you know John.
Yep.
We did there was this. Wow, is it that loud? Can you hear that?
I heard that one. What's going on in the ends, Ed? What's going on in the ends?
Anyway, just a regular Tuesday evening. So at the end of like secondary school, there was this thing called like the challenge. It was like a 3-week summer thing. I'm not sure if they did it around where you were. And I was in a different one to some of my lot from secondary school. And one of them was John. John was on a different one to the one I was on. And throughout the whole thing, he faked an American accent throughout the whole 3-week thing just because he thought it would be banter, and said his name was Lorenzo throughout the whole thing. And at the end of the program, we had like a presentation to the parents or whatever, and all the parents came to see him. And then that's when he became like the real him and like started talking normally and whatnot. And all the kids were like super baffled, like, oh, what? And it was when he told me, I was like, oh, anyway, things random shit we doing. But anyway.
So boom, we're back again fully now. This is the real picks one. This is the picks one. This is the competition. This isn't just recapping and knowing what's in the sport. This is the game.
And the game, for those of you that don't know, is that every week, obviously, well, depending on bye weeks or whatever, there's 16 matchups, and we take it in turns to pick a team. The other person will take the other team, and the person with the most wins at the end of the week wins that week. We keep a tally up until week 17. And then the person with the most wins gets the first pick of the playoff draft, which we did last year. So last year we started roughly halfway through the season, did we not? When Corona hit, or whenever 10. It was. And week 10. That was it, week 10. And Joel won the last fixtures for week 10. He actually, and then he got the first pick in the draft as well. Yep. And with his draft picks, he picked the Bucs, who obviously went to the Super Bowl. So yeah, he won that, which is annoying.
And no, I didn't just pick the Bucs.
Yeah,
I picked the Bucs and the Chiefs.
So the way it works is that I think Joel had double victory over me, and because of that, he got the first pick of the AFC and first pick of the NFC. Interesting. Actually, we might just open it up this year just to pick. You can pick anyone you want, straight up pick, first, second, etc. And yeah, because you had first picks of both, you had the top dibs. And funny enough, actually, your NFC one, that was the third pick. Oh, that was your second NFC pick, because we had another one.
Yeah, that was my second NFC pick, so third overall.
Because I had the Packers, and I think you had someone else in the NFC. And yeah, for AFC, obviously, you had first pick, so you took the Chiefs, and I was hoping the Bills could just do it, but obviously they couldn't. So yeah, Joe, that's why he looks like Prince Akeem with the crown on his head.
But unfortunately, this is going to be the last week you see it up until the end, because once they say new season, everyone's 0-0.
Yeah,
no one's
true.
winning no more.
Yeah,
your last season accolades mean nothing.
Very, very true. And week 1 is always the most. It's always the weirdest week. They have the Jags won last year, week 1, beat the Colts, and then they lost the remaining 16 games, 15 games. I forget. Last year there were some. How many games were there last year? 16 or 17? No, last year there were 16. Yeah. Last year they were 16, yeah. So they lost their remaining 15 games. And I remember listening to an NFL pod after week 1, and they were like, are the Jags actually good? And I'm like, I mean, I hope so, but yeah, you know what? They are actually good. And then, they went and ended up with the number 1 pick.
I'm telling you, it's the hope that kills you. It definitely is the hope that kills you.
And for those of you who didn't watch our season preview where we predicted the divisional winners and the playoff winners, I did predict Jags will have a better record than the Steelers. I'm just saying. So yeah, that hope is
there should be a punishment for that. Yeah. There should be a punishment for that. But we here at Third Atlantic want to encourage bold and wild statements and takes.
No,
however, there should be a punishment for that one.
I'm not about the bowl. I'm just about keeping it authentic. Like I literally looked at the fixture. I'm like, you know what? I reckon we could win there. I reckon we could have another win there. I reckon we could beat the Bengals. We can twice beat the Houston Colts. I don't really rate this year. We can beat them a couple of times maybe, and it just racked up to like 8 wins, 7 or 8 wins. And I was like, you know what? Maybe. But anyway, enough about them. So I may need to put my money where my mouth is when we make the picks.
Mm-hmm.
So Joel, as you won last year, as you are the reigning champion, we have got the 16 matchups. I'll quickly do a rundown of them. Thursday night football, Cowboys at the Bucs. Early kickoff on Sunday, we've got Seahawks at Colts, Jags at Texans, Eagles at Falcons, Chargers at Washington, Steelers at Bills, 49ers at Lions, Vikings at Bengals, Jets at Panthers, Cards at Titans. In the evening, we have got Browns at KC, Dolphins and New England, Broncos against the Giants, Green Bay against New Orleans. The late kickoff, we've got Bears and the Rams. And then finally, we've got the Ravens versus the Raiders on Monday Night Football. So those are the 16 matchups we have for this week. Joel, I've already got my I've already got my picks and I've already got my tiers. So I'm interested to see who your first pick is.
I've got mine penciled in. As you know, we want the most winners in a week.
Yeah.
So we're just going to pick the winners. The loser gets the non-pick team out of that matchup. So with my first pick, I'm already penciled them in for a win. And that's the Bucs versus the Cowboys. I'm taking the Bucs. There's no way. They don't lose that. Especially after what Vrabel said to Tom Brady in their joint practice with the Titans. He said, congratulations to you, the defense, for carrying Tom Brady again to another Super Bowl. As you know, Vrabel, Titans head coach, was on the defense, or the Pats defense that carried Brady to the Super Bowl. They were teammates. It is a joke. However, we all know Brady is going to kill the league for that one. You don't make jokes at Brady's expense.
It's one of those where, like, on the outside, he's probably like taking his like, ha, 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 but inside, like, I'm going to kill this prick. I am.
And especially the Titans. And they lost that preseason game. As you know, Brady, if Brady even played at all, he played 1 or 2 drives maximum.
So you're not rating the Cowboys?
They're the Cowboys. Next question.
Cool. So JA has got the Bucs, which means Lasku has the Cowboys. So that is your first pick. Right.
Yes, sir.
So my first pick is the reason why I love the format that we do is that it really makes you have to like say it with your chest in terms of like which teams do you rate more than other teams. And sometimes it's not about rating a team more than something else. Sometimes it's saying a team is so shit that the other team is just better. And this is what I'm going to do with my first pick. And I am taking the San Francisco 49ers over the Detroit Lions.
Yes. Why
are you saying yes? As in, yes, you didn't want that pick, or
no? Yes, as in that's like a very, very, very solid pick. Like no matter how, like the 49ers obviously can be up or down at times. Their offense, especially
injuries.
In offense, injuries, their situation around them for the last year and a half. For some reason, it's been like everything has been going against them. For some strange reason. However, they will still be the Lions because the Lions are the Lions.
I was listening to, again, during work, I just got some podcasts in my ear, whatever. That's just my background noise. And I was listening to one podcast and they were talking about the Lions, and it was Kevin Clark from The Ringer. And he was saying how he was watching the Lions practice and he was just saying how bad Jared Goff looked, like really, really bad. I felt a little bit bad for Goff because I think he's getting a lot of slack. But I mean, whatever. He's an NFL quarterback, like whatever. That's the person I do feel bad for him because he was just shipped out to Detroit. But he was saying Goff did not look good and he has no faith in this Lions squad. I was like, wow, that's so damning on Jared Goff, but also a bit of a positive for the Rams.
And new head coach as well, new first-time head coach. But yeah, this is if Jared Goff is going to have a comeback year, this is the year to have it. Just no one believes he's going to do it. And that's the heartbreaking thing about it. But with that said, it means I have my next pick. It's not where I thought I was going to go, but as you said, it's about picking teams that you want, and making sure that the other person can't get that team, which means I am picking the Rams against the Bears.
Yeah, that was the third of my fourth on my top tier. Yeah.
There's the Rams are the Rams. I little on the gram, I came across their offense, like their post announcing, the offense, the starting offense. Well, yeah, the offense that made the roster. Obviously they have some heat. They have heat, and then they have Sean McVay, and more importantly, they have a QB that you believe is accurate and will throw the ball and will throw it on time and will throw it to where it needs to be. And suddenly, like all the negatives that you were taking away from them for the last couple of years, suddenly they're not there anymore. So there's that.
You're thinking maybe the reason why you won't necessarily feel comfortable with this pick is that this is the first time Matthew Stafford will be playing competitive game in this offense. So there could be some growing pains potentially. However, but then again, I love that pick.
Then again, on the other side, there's Andy Dalton as well. He's first game in this offense, and people don't even want him to be the QB. So there's a lot of pressure that comes with that.
They actively want him to lose.
There's a lot of pressure that is on his shoulders right now. He's literally one interception, one misthrown, supposedly TD. No, I'm telling you, let's say one interception, one throw that was meant to be accurate for a TD, a couple sacks. People are calling for Fields because at least they know Fields can run away. At least, very minimum.
Stupidly, I was one of the believers that maybe Dalton could have an impact on the Cowboys last year. And obviously that did not happen because they went to fucking Ben DiNucci, but
not at all. Yeah.
Cool. So that leaves me with the final team on my top tier of teams I really wanted for this round.
Please don't be my team, by the way. Please don't be my team.
And that's the team I'm going for is I'm going for the Baltimore Ravens ahead of the Las Vegas Raiders. That is my last one. I know it's a Monday Night Football matchup, and the Ravens did lose their starting running back for the season. I'm not sure how much I really trust the Raiders. This is year 3 or year 4 of Gruden, and they've been okay. They've not been nothing to write home about. It feels like it does really feel like a make or break year for them. But yeah, that's my thought.
Yeah, so this is one that I almost picked. I almost picked it first. I was very strong in conviction at this one. Obviously, for the Ravens, the run is like obviously it's like the majority of their offense. So you want a Lamar. Obviously, he's going to do well regardless. But you want them to have like a scary running back so that
it can help. Helps.
Yeah. So that at least the misdirection, like you really have to play it hard. Like you have to split your defense in. Some people are going for Lamar, some people are going for the running back. With J.K. Dobbins going down, you don't have as much faith in that. However, it's the Raiders. You just don't have that much faith. However, they do have a packed house. They're gonna have a packed house at Allegiant Stadium. It will not be for the Raiders fans though. So you got to think about that.
No,
the casinos bought up all them seats. And they're giving them out to all the super rich people to come in as part of like their deals, and they're not a fan. Like it's like the Chargers were a while ago. Like you're not going there for Chargers fans. You're going there to be at a game in LA on your holiday. This is the pick that I was hoping you would dodge.
Okay.
However, the Ravens was going to be my next one if I got through. But this pick right here, it's more about the team that they are, as opposed to the team that they're playing and the team that I hope they're going to be this season.
Yeah.
And that is the Green Bay Packers at the Saints. The Saints obviously do not have Drew Brees anymore. So they have that playing for them. We don't know how dialed in, what's his name's going to be? Gadget guy, Taysom Hill. We don't know how dialed in Taysom Hill is going to be. Because remember, he had the super gadget role. Say it. Yeah, but he had the super gadget role. But then that was so, like, it was so pivotal in that season because because Drew Brees wasn't able to throw it where he wants to throw it. Jameis, however, can throw it downfield, will throw it downfield. The question is, do his eyes work now? And he's actually going to throw it to the right team. I still don't have all the faith in the Packers secondary that, you would really hope to take advantage of that. But I do know Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. MVP last year, may I add.
Okay. Yeah, it's not a bad pick. I had it in my third tier of teams. So my first tier's already gone.
Really?
And my second tier, I'm a bit iffy on my second tiers as well of teams I wanted to pick. Now, part of this, another reason why I like this format is because sometimes it's try to outguess your opponent. I know there are some teams you have a bit higher than me, and I know some teams you have a bit lower than me, so I let them slide a little bit. And I'm just gonna go for it. The reason I say that is because obviously Joel was a Steelers fan, so he obviously wants the Steelers, but sometimes he does make the smart decision to pick against the Steelers when they're not favorite or when it's an unfavorable matchup. This is one of those. I am taking Buffalo over Pittsburgh.
Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that. No, I agree with you. The Bills are the favorites. They're the favorites for a reason. I didn't want to pick against them. I didn't want to pick against the Steelers because, it's the first game of the season. However, sometimes, logic has to prevail at some point. The Bills are Super Bowl favorites right now. The Steelers, people are hoping to get to the playoffs. Like the difference in expectations is wild. So, yeah, I hats off to you on that one.
Quick Steelers thing.
Yep.
What would be a successful season for the Steelers at this point in the season? Obviously, expectations change once you get into the season, whatever, blah blah blah. But Steelers fan right now at this moment in time, what would you consider a successful season?
So like, it doesn't sound successful, right? It doesn't sound successful, but a winning season and playoffs. That was a high expectation last year when we were playing bad, but then we exceeded that.
Right.
But then the way the second half of the season went, or after the 10 games, after the 11 games, whatever it was, the way we've had to rebuild, it seems like a step back, but we should be better, but that realistically is what people should be hoping for, because the alternative is 5 wins.
Okay. So what then do you consider a successful season for this year? Does a winning record matter? Do you have to make the playoffs?
Yes, no. The winning record always matters. We have to be playoffs. It's successful. Like if we're talking true success, if we're talking base level success, we have to hit playoffs. If we're talking true success, we need to pass that first round.
Cool. Got you. Yeah, that's fair.
If we're talking delusional, as in true fan, Super Bowl, winning it. But we're talking realistic, I guess.
Yeah. What I was going to say to that as well is that we had a lot of discussions last year, just in general, about the Steelers and how I felt they were a little bit fool's gold during the start of the season because they weren't necessarily convincing wins. I watched the games, I was like, they don't like their defense is good, but I just really don't trust their offense. It doesn't really pop out. There are a lot of like really short passes and run after catches from receivers. And then we spoke a little bit off air when you're like, there was a lot of drop balls as well. I really wasn't feeling Ben like that, but yeah, I'm not as high as on the Steelers as other people are, which is fair, I guess. But yeah. And apparently your running back's a stud, but it doesn't fix your O-line. So anyway.
Yeah, but if he can outrun an O-line, that would be amazing.
If there's nowhere to run in between, if you just run
our O-line hasn't looked bad. Okay, yeah, our O-line hasn't looked bad this preseason, and we all know linemen.
No one cares.
Linemen don't get the superstar treatment, so they are out there. Like for the most part, your first team D-line and O-line are going to be out there for a minimum a half. Your O-line probably 3/4 of the game, then you're going to start rotating people. So at least your O-line in preseason, they will tell you, they will show you who they are for the most part.
So you have made your...
That was you.
That was me. Yes, I did make my third pick. Now it's time for your fourth pick. And who do you have?
Okay, normally, especially last year, this team was always top 2 in the picks to go. If they were not the top team, they were
Fuck.
the second team to go.
Fuck.
You thought I wasn't going to pick them, but you forgot.
Yeah, I
am
don't.
not.
I don't know why I picked the Bills over them.
Yeah.
Right now. I was just having another look, and I skipped past them.
Yeah,
the Bills,
you
but
don't. You have forgotten that I am not high on the Browns like everyone else. So
Yeah.
my pick
Yeah.
is going to be the Chiefs versus the Browns. And now, more importantly, although the people are high on the Browns, we're forgetting the Chiefs did not win their Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
They are vexed.
Yeah.
Wherever we thought last year about how they're just, lolling and doing, everything until like maybe the last drive of the game, and then suddenly they'll win and turn it on. They don't care about that no more. They want to win. They need to get back to that Super Bowl because they've lost now. And they didn't just lose. It was embarrassing for them. So now they come back with a vengeance. They start off week 1 row against the Browns team that has made strides, but it's still the Chiefs.
Interesting. Now it's my 4th pick. And yeah, I mean, I think I cocked up that pick. So I'm just going to give a disclaimer there. But the pick I'm not going to cock up is the next team I'm going to take. I am taking the Jacksonville Jaguars over the Houston Texans.
Now, we all know before this year, that is the dumbest pick of all time. But what happened this offseason, we might not have to get into. But what happened this offseason? Yeah.
Precisely.
But then this is one of those ones where they messed up so hard that you should take the Jags.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just more that I don't fancy the Texans at all. That I'm taking the Jags. So, yeah.
However, Tyrod Taylor is still So I was looking at this article today from NFL.com, and I was rating like the offensive trios of each team and like giving them power rankings and that.
Yeah.
The Texans look woeful, bro.
Yeah.
Like they look bad. Obviously, they didn't have Deshaun Watson in there because he's not playing week 1. But they have Tyrod Taylor, they have Brandon Cooks, and then they have a running back that no one has ever heard of. And they rated them like they're rating like low 20s, 30s for each position. I was like, yikes.
Yeah. Okay, but so now it's your 5th pick.
Yes. So there's not going to be much, not much thought has gone into this. I just don't want to pick some other teams. But I'm going I'm going to pick the Vikings over the Bengals.
Wow.
The Bengals have been rated highly, especially on that offensive trio thing. I don't know about their defense. I'm not scared of them. I think they're the worst team in the AFC North, which the rankings have said as such, not for this year, but as past years. And if they're all their hopes are on Joe Burrows, it looks like. So I'm taking the Vikings, and rookie season. I'm hoping Jefferson builds up on that amazing, like historical rookie season.
Love Jefferson. Love Dalvin Cook. I'm not sure about the rest of the Vikings team, to be fair. But saying that, actually, I did have that matchup on my 4th tier, which is my bottom tier, and I also had the Bengals winning instead, just because I am on the Joe Burrows bandwagon. I am on it. I am so looking forward. I was so gutted when he got injured last year because I thought, oh my gosh, this guy looks doing super nice, just these throws, etc. Jamar Chase was a little bit, the drops were a little bit concerning, in preseason. But I'm really looking forward to what the Bengals can do this year. Mainly just because Joe Burrows and the weapons that they have. They've got some really nice weapons, especially on wide receiver. So yeah. That's just the thing I thought I had known. So I have got 2 more teams left in my second tier, sorry. And in my second tier isn't like a usual second tier where I feel a bit confident. I'm a bit iffy on these 2 teams. However, I am going to go for, I think 3 of my 3 of my 6 picks have been teams I don't want in terms of taking against the opposition. And I'm going to do that again. I am going to take the Denver Broncos over the New York Giants. I do not want the New York Giants. I do not want them.
Okay, now this is one of the matchups again where the top players for the team are deceiving, because offensively, Saquon, Danny Dimes.
No, fuck Danny Dimes.
You got Ingram, and Sterling, who in theory should be great. They have I forgot the running back, but he was decent himself. But it just doesn't work together. I don't know about their defense. They have Bradbury. I believe they have some like good DBs, but it just doesn't work, and I don't know why.
I feel that Broncos defense is going to swallow up that Giants offense. They have got nothing on them. I think we'll see. That's my.
I mean, yeah.
And
with all that I've said, those two ends, those two pass rushers, especially for Denver, can destroy a whole lot.
Pour some out for Andrew Thomas over the weekend. And also, I'm not on Joe Burrow's levels, but I like Teddy Bridgewater. I don't like him as much as obviously just been bragging out about Joe Burrows, but I like what Teddy can do. And I'm just having the Broncos over. I mean, and I'm also hoping for a breakout year for Mr. Jerry Jeudy. They've got the Broncos could surprise. I think a lot of people have got them like as a little sleeper team in the playoffs. But I'm definitely taking them over the fucking Giants.
Like we said at the time, I had Jared Jeudy as the best receiver coming out of that class. And he had, I think he had a decent year. He showed that he was good, but obviously part of the position is the service you get. And if you've got Kirk Cousins thrown to you, it has proven to be better than Daniel Dimes.
So,
but
you are now on your sixth pick.
Yes,
there are
my sixth pick.
There's two teams I don't need to pick.
I'm going to pick the Seahawks at the Colts.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it dropped this low, especially as from what my understanding so far is that Carson Wentz is not playing this game. So their backup Easton, I think, or I don't even know who their backup is right now, but I'm picking Mr. Dangerous, I forgot his name. It's not even Mr. Impossible, I don't know. Whatever his name is, Russell Wilson is going up against the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, that was going to be my next pick.
Mr. Unlimited. That's what it is. Mr. Unlimited.
Colts do have a really good defense, which I do like. But again, it's just their offense. T.Y. Hilton is out as well. Like, who knows what's happening? Yes. Their O-line's banged up. Seahawks. Cool. My sixth pick is, and again, this would be my sixth pick. And the fourth pick being where I just don't want the other team. Mm-hmm. And that is, I'm going to take where are they? Yeah. I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers over the New York Jets.
No, wait. All these teams. I thought you were going to pick some other teams.
Really?
I thought you were going to pick some other teams.
It's week one. I guess I'm just going to get the week one jitters.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but there's still some matchups on there that I think you like, but I don't know why you're not picking them.
We've got 4 games left. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't want the Jets. I mean, you're assuming their quarterback play is going to be better with you're assuming their quarterback play is going to be better without Sam Darnold. Funny enough, Sam Darnold's now lining up for Carolina. So, but overall, as a team, I don't really rate the Jets like that. Carolina have got a really good defense as well. I like some of their weapons. McCaffrey's back, which is great, and I also really like what Matt Rule did with the Carolina Panthers team after where they were 2 years ago and what he did last year.
Team, I am surprised that you haven't picked yet. Against the team with no name, the Los Angeles Chargers, I'm taking at the Washington football team.
I thought you were high on Washington. That's why I let it slip a little bit because I had the Chargers pretty high up. I thought, what happened to you saying Washington are going to win that division?
I think they are, but they're not in the division with the Chargers.
Oh, I just thought you were a bit higher. I did have them on my second tier of teams, but I thought you would. I thought you would just had Washington.
Yeah, we both think the Chargers are going to win the division, do we not?
No, they're in the same division as the Chiefs.
Okay, well, the Chargers are doing a close second. So, yeah,
cool. So you have got the Chargers, fair. So let's put in you for pick number 7. So I am now going to take the. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons over the Philadelphia Eagles. I do not trust the Eagles at all. I think
I forgot that this was even a match.
I think they're definitely coming third in the division, and I am taking my first dose of the Atlanta pill and seeing what it does to me. This matchup will heavily affect how I pick them throughout the rest of the year.
What did I tell you last year? I jumped on them at the beginning. They lost me every single match I picked. Every matchup I picked the Falcons, they lost. And then it turned over to you. It turned to who can avoid the Falcons the most.
Yeah, that's what last genuinely year what it turned into. Genuinely what it turned into at the end of the year. The Falcons were killing us both with our picks. Wow. Gives us 2 picks left: Tennessee and Arizona, and New England and Miami. Which team do you want out of those 4? Which team don't you want?
This is very tough. This is very tough to pick. I'm believing in people instead of believing in science, believing in the numbers. This is very, very tough. I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm going to let you give me the other one, I believe. And I'm going to take Bill Belichick over the Dolphins.
Okay. I had New England winning that matchup as well. To be fair.
Yeah. If we boil it down to like bare bones, it's Bill Belichick going up against a coach in his coaching tree. And he tends to come out favorable in those matchups. And I just don't know what the Dolphins are yet. With Tua. And I don't really know what Mac is, but when I watched the preseason, Mac looked decent to me.
Another interesting thing, I think it was, again, Kevin Clark, who came out with this amazing tidbit. He was reading an article, which was, or doing an interview with someone in Miami, and they were saying how last year the Miami offense was just tailored around Ryan Fitzpatrick. There was nothing there that was really for Tua or anything like that. So it wasn't his playbook. It didn't play at all to Tua's strengths. I think that is something that makes me a bit anxious about my playoff picks, because I think don't think Miami are going to make it. I think New England are going to make ahead of Miami. However, the other side is, of course, Tua will finally get a proper offseason where the whole offense is around him. They're building everything around him, and it may give him a reasonable chance to succeed. They drafted Waddle as well, so that will be lovely for him. I think they drafted yes, Chase and Waddle. Yeah.
Doesn't that scare you that they had Tua and they had everyone pushing for Tua and they still didn't have anything in their offense tailored to him?
No, but I can understand why, because obviously he's come back from injury and they're really worried about his health issues, which makes sense because Miami had been dreadful past couple of years and they were banking on Tua, and they had Fitzpatrick, who could obviously do a job. So that's why I'm a bit like, but I get your point. Like, surely there would have been something done and he would have had a bit more success than he did last year. But I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. The final matchup, I have got Tennessee over Arizona. Tennessee my Jags division, so obviously I watch them a bit more often. I really like what they're doing. There is now the questions about, it's the second year in a row Derrick Henry has just been on the madness. You can't surely do it for a third year in a row, especially not a running back. It's just so difficult to do it. But I'm still taking him over Arizona. I'm not the biggest fan of Arizona. I don't really trust Cliff Kingsbury like that. He just thinks that he can just put out five wide receivers and it will be fine. It can work when you can just throw the ball up to DeAndre Hopkins, but I think that you want to see a bit more nuance in their offense and a bit more of a run game.
No, I don't. Why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Throw it up to D-Hop. 2 teams have now done it for a considerable amount of time.
And where's it got them? Nowhere. Look at where Houston are at now.
Yeah, they're right now. As soon as they got rid of him, but he was carrying them to the playoffs. Let's not forget that.
That's because the AFC South was shit. Alrighty, so there are the matchups. There are the 16 matchups for Week 1 and the picks. So just a quick overcap. You've got the Bucs over the Cowboys, the Seahawks over the Colts. I've got the Jags over the Texans, the Falcons over the Eagles. You've then got the Chargers ahead of Washington. I've got the Bills over the Steelers, 49ers over the Lions. Then you've got Vikings over Bengals. I've got the Panthers over the Jets, Titans over the Cards. You've got the Kansas City Chiefs over the Browns, the Pats over the Dolphins. I took the Broncos over the Giants. You've got Green Bay over New Orleans, Rams versus the Bears. And on Monday night, I've got the Ravens over the Raiders. Now, Week 1, probably half these are going to be wrong. We're going to get half these picks wrong, or more than that. One, we don't know shit, and secondly, the NFL is going to completely screw with the ones that we do know about.
Yeah.
Week 1 of 17. Hopefully, we don't get any 8-8 games, because then that will just ruin it, and then we'll just fucking have to figure out another way who gets the first pick in the playoffs. And we're doing this to see who gets the first pick in the playoffs. Every week we win, that's a point, and then we'll see who has the most points by week 17.
Yes, sir. Just hoping that we don't get screwed over too much by week 1. But football is almost here. College has already started. That gave us a little warm up. But now the real deal has come. The main event. Let's go.
Gators and Jags will both be in the playoffs this year. Just saying. Peace.
That never happened, but peace.